If you're looking to start a drop servicing business, the first step is to figure out which niche you're going to get into. Of course, you can do web design and lead generation, all these other things, but everybody does that already. And I think going into a home service business and then using the drop service fulfillment method is way more beneficial for 3 reasons. One is you're going to create a local business with your home service. That's what it typically is. And you're going to tap into demand that's already there. People are already searching up that service that you're going to offer. The second thing is you're going to create enterprise value, meaning all the recurring clients that you get, you solidifying yourself in that local area, an investor is going to want to buy that business from you, and it's going to pay out a lot. So now you're creating like a true asset where somebody is going to actually buy from you eventually. The third reason too is that you're going to have a competitive advantage going into the home service niche compared to if you were to just go into like digital marketing, because everybody in that side of drop servicing, they know how to use ads, they know how to do cold email and all the different systems and automations and stuff. But home service businesses currently in whatever market you get into, the majority of them won't know how to do any of that. They're usually owner operators, and they don't want to learn how to do sales systems or how to do paid ads and that sort of thing, because they're already super busy and they just don't have enough time, which is fine. No knock on them, but that's your competitive advantage getting into it. What criteria I look at when trying to choose a niche is, one, does it have recurring revenue? Because we want something that's going to bring in money constantly. We're not going to start at zero every month. We're going to have money coming in so we can reinvest much easier. It's going to be a healthier business. Potential for upsells, since we're just drop servicing all of our clients, which is just getting a different subcontractor to fulfill it. It's not you yourself doing the service. Then the potential to upsell is also there, because we can just get subcontractors for whatever other relevant service there is. And then demand. Is this an essential service? Is it a growing demand? Can you do both residential and commercial? How big is that market? So based off of these 3 things, I just asked ChatGPT, give me top 5 home service niches for this. So the first one I gave is home cleaning services. If you watch my channel, this is exactly what I do because of these reasons here. Recurring revenue, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly services, plenty of upsells with just regular cleaning services. Some of them are more high value, like deep cleaning or post-construction. And then you can also add on like carpet cleaning, window cleaning, pressure washing. You can even expand a little bit further into like pool cleaning, that sort of thing. That could be its own niche, to be honest. Then the demand is constant. It's always high. Anytime someone lives somewhere or occupies a space, it's going to be dirty and it needs to be clean. So it's always growing. You got residential, commercial, so offices, businesses, and then even short-term rentals, Airbnbs, that sort of thing, which is great. And then while it works, subcontract, cleaners focus purely on lead gen, customer acquisition, and scheduling. That's exactly what drop servicing is. I would also put down there, and we'll start going to the second and third, but I would also keep in mind when you're trying to choose a niche, like how many contractors are in your area to fulfill that service. For me, in Florida, there's plenty of people looking to do cleaning, and you can find that, right? It's like a lower skill where anyone can learn how to be a cleaner. Obviously, it takes a lot of integrity and trustworthiness of that person, so that's more difficult to find. But there's plenty of people who can get into it and actually fulfill the service. And that's something to keep in mind when looking at all these niches. Another thing to keep in mind is how easy it is to start up the business and get into it. House cleaning, I just needed insurance in my business and I was ready to go. There's some other ones that we're going to look at here where you need licenses, like electricians, HVAC, they're going to need licenses to get started. So lawn care, landscaping is a great one. I know people who are doing this. Again, recurring revenues there. Upsells, you got tree trimming, garden design, irrigation system installation. I feel like these are pretty high ticket, which is awesome. And then seasonal cleanups. I would say you can even pair this with like snow removal. If you're up north, you got wintertime. I don't know anything about that here in Florida, but obviously in the winter, I'm sure people are not getting their lawns done, but they're gonna need snow care. They're gonna need snow removal. So that's something. Constant demand, both residential and commercial. And I've heard of these type of businesses selling for a lot because of those, especially with commercial contracts. Those contracts can last for years. If you get like a condo, apartment complex, those are big money, right? Pressure washing services, this is kind of an upsell for house cleaning, but it could be its own thing because as you see here, you got driveways, patios, house exteriors, upsells, you got roof cleaning, gutter cleaning. I would even add up here in the upsell is going to restaurants and not pitching them, but providing garbage cleaning services. Their dumpster, if that's not cleaned out, they're gonna get rats and all this other shit that's gonna mess up their business. So they need that, and I hear that is a pretty high ticket service, like thousands of dollars per visit. And this is probably more of like a quarterly recurring service, but still, the idea with some sort of recurring service or revenue, you're gonna have a higher customer lifetime value, and therefore you can spend more money on ads or just your acquisition methods to get them because they're worth so much. High ticket, low overhead, easy to subcontract. Love that. Pest control services. When I was first looking at which niche to get into, this was my number 2, something that I really wanted to get into, but again, you need a licensed subcontractor. What I'm not 100% on is whether the business itself needs a license, or let's say the subcontractor you're working with, maybe you guys can partner on having their license within your business. Like you can showcase that so you can operate basically, right? So monthly, quarterly. So we got the recurring. The demand is always needed, of course, for residential and commercial. And then you have some pretty huge upsells here. Rodent control, bed bug extermination, the fumigations, dude. Oh my God. I have one experience is there's deep clean we did, a 5,000 square foot home. It was after fumigation for termites, and they told me they spent $15,000 to fumigate the place. So imagine like just getting some jobs like that, and you just subcontract it out and get 50% of that job. That's pretty awesome. So pest control I would want. I also heard, sorry to be so drilling on this, but I also heard pest control, when investors buy it, they base it off of the revenue rather than the EBITDA, which is after taxes and expenses and all that sort of thing. They're basing it off of revenue when they're doing the multiples to buy it, which is pretty awesome. And you have HVAC and maintenance, duct cleaning. Now ChatGPT, it kind of gave some choices here that it's not really recurring, but what I would say is if you were to get into a niche like HVAC, electrician, flooring, painting, while it's not recurring, the margins are super high, I would imagine. They're much higher than like cleaning for your typical cleaning service. So in that case, if you can have a high margin job and your profits for each job is a lot, that's going to help you sustain over the long run. And I think that's a good reason to still get into it. High margins is important. So I would also say that, it isn't necessarily recurring, but if you do get these clients like HVAC, electrician, they're going to always come back to you, and that lends itself to a higher customer lifetime value. And then it gave a little bonus here, home organization and junk removal. I think this is good, like home organization. That's some rich people stuff, honestly. But you can probably get into some pretty affluent neighborhoods, offer that. They got huge closets and just their home in general, or their kitchens and labeling things for them. That would be pretty high ticket, I would imagine. And it's a growing trend, so you're kind of hopping on a trend. I wouldn't say it's an essential service though, but you could upsell like hoarder cleanouts, storage solutions, estate cleanouts, and commercial junk removal. So it is tying in junk removal and home organization. So you kind of have junk removal, maybe a higher ticket one-time service, and then home organization where it could be a quarterly or twice a year type of service, which is pretty dope. Let's see, 5 more niches and the ones easiest to get into. I think the main thing here too is no matter what you choose, they're all going to fit what I mentioned. Like, you'll have a competitive advantage. If you're watching a YouTube video like this, you probably have seen automations. You're probably familiar with like Facebook ads and Google ads, or you know that you can go learn how to do that stuff. And that's what it's going to take. You probably understand there's like CRM systems that help you organize stuff, right? So we have gutter cleaning, window cleaning is another one, handyman services, pool cleaning. I hear when people sell pool cleaning, they sell the routes rather than selling the entire business. They'll sell the routes as just like a dump off, right? So if you have 60 houses on a route, maybe one of your subcontractors in doing that, you can sell that 60 house route for hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe, depending on what that is. Then mobile car detailing. This would be interesting. I'm curious. If people will subcontract that where there's enough margin, but definitely another recurring business. Also residential and commercial. You can work with like delivery companies that have big fleets, right? UPS, Amazon, give discounts to like Uber and Lyft drivers and get them on a subscription plan. So yeah, home services, man, there's such a huge opportunity, and I love this drop servicing model. Myself, I do more of like a little hybrid because I just got into it and did a lot of the cleaning myself at first, and I'll go to some big jobs now, but mainly it is subcontracted. But you can like fully subcontract all of this, maybe even something like roadside assistance, and whatever you can do to get people on a subscription or recurring is pretty great. So yeah, these are just some niches. I thought this would be cool to look at. I am like considering starting another home service business with this drop servicing model in a different city in the US. I'm not sure just yet where or what, but it'll probably just be house cleaning because I have the SOPs, I have the software, but even still, I have a CRM that will work for anything. And yeah, I'm like considering just jumping in, building it up, and then build it to sell and see if that can be done. I know once I break even on it on like a monthly basis, and it would be really attractive to an investor to buy it, because I guess the video is going on a little long, but I got approached by a realtor the other day. He called me for an inquiry about his client, short-term rental, but then he asked me, he told me there's not a lot of house cleaning businesses for sale right now, and then him and his partner are interested in buying them, and he knows like people don't really sell them because they're so stable over the long term. So he asked me if I was open to like a minor investment, like a minor share investment, but I probably won't do that for my main company. But I was thinking about talking to him and seeing if he wanted me to set up his own cleaning company somewhere, not in my area, but somewhere else, that I would set it up for him and just like pretty much set in the SOPs, the VAs, all the systems, and for a huge setup fee, and just let it run, you know. But yeah, this is cool stuff, man. I love talking about this. It's really interesting how many opportunities we have to get into, and these are just some of the niches. So hopefully it gives you an idea of some more opportunities. All right, y'all.